Good morning, everyone. This is Diane. I know you haven't seen me in a few days. Thank you to those of you who inquired as to my well-being. I have been sick. Turned out that I had COVID, but I am doing better. As long as I can keep from coughing while I do a video, I'm okay. I'm just very tired. And I still have the cough, but not like it was. So anyway, I'm on the mend, and I started doing a little bit of creating. I did putter around doing some more organizing when I had the strength to do it. I couldn't do very much at a time, but I was able to do some. And then I just, sorry, I thought I knew what my next project was going to be, but while I was sick and not doing anything, I was thinking, and I thought, it's almost Valentine's, and I have a whole bunch of Valentines that I got, antique, or at least vintage Valentines, that I got at the flea market last year, in that great big box full of old papers. That box was like the best treasure trove ever. If you saw that haul. That haul was awesome. From one lady I got a great big box of old paper stuff and a great big box of lace, old lace. I'll try to link that video in case you want to watch that video, because it's really fun. But anyway, in that box of old papers was old Valentines. And most of them were stuck in a plastic bag with a price sticker of $2 or $3 on them. But they were just in this box that I got for one lump price. So that was pretty awesome. So some of these Valentines, a lot of these Valentines are going to go in my shop. But I thought, these Valentines are so beautiful, I want to work with some of them. And I know I had said that I didn't want to do anything with Valentines for a while. After my husband passed away. But it's been almost 5.5 years now. And it doesn't hurt as much to see the Valentines. And I'm just thinking of them as nice, wonderful, vintage ephemera pieces with beautiful art. So I decided to make Valentine journals. So this is a whole bag full of Valentine materials that I could use. In addition to the old Valentines, I have these, and I think somebody must have sent these to me. And I'm actually using those on the covers. I have Valentine postcards too that I've picked up with when I buy batches of postcards. A lot of times there are Valentines in there. So these are all postcards and Valentines. Plenty to work with, right? And there's even some little homemade ones that were vintage. I have some heart-shaped doilies that I can use. And a couple images from books. Of course, I have my Victorian calling cards. These would be perfect in a Valentine journal, would they not? So each journal will probably get at least 2 of these. And I have more of these. This is just one handful that I pulled out. I have a lot of them. I decided to look through my antique papery folder of printables. These are things I already had printed out, and these are beautiful. So I'm using some of these as pages, and some decorated the inside covers of my journals. I have those. And just a few other printables that I had. This is some of my own lace that I made copies of. Some wallpaper printables. these have been in my pile of printed materials for a long time. So I'm hoping to use them because this is a perfect project for them. And I'd like to use them. Some handkerchief printables, some embroidered things that I have that I scanned. Look at this beautiful old gift wrap. I have that one. This one looks like Art Deco. And this one is one of my favorites, the pink and the turquoise. I have some stationery, vintage stationery with roses. And this one is just a pretty pink embossed one. It's a Hallmark stationery. And the plain sheets also. That one with little rosebuds, and this one with a rose. And this one. I have some pink typing paper. And some white typing paper with pink lines. And I have some tracing paper that I printed on, I guess just this one sheet. I printed that image on it. And then I have some vellum that is already printed. It came that way. And I have this beautiful red vellum. I'll try to find something to do with that. I don't know if I can use these in a couple of these journals, but I might as well try it while I think Valentine's journals would be fun for these. And then, well, let's look at the covers that I've made. I started working on them anyway. I have 2 done and 1 almost done. I'm making 3 one-signature journals. And they're all kind of done, constructed similarly, but they look different. This one just is made with this beautiful rose tapestry. And I used this embroidered piece to make a pocket, and I tucked this vintage Valentine card in there. And there's one of the cross-stitch little pieces. There's some velvet up here, velvet ribbon, and this pretty, it's like a tapestry trim. And I added this embroidered ribbon, or woven ribbon, I guess. And this piece of lace, and then this sheer pale blue. I put the fringe, the bottom of this fabric was finished and fringed, so I just put that at the bottom. And then on the inside I lined it with some of the antique papery paper, and I had this book plate and this pretty wide eyelet lace to make pockets. This one looks a lot different. This one was made with a few selections from the layer cake fabric. This, when you get a, I think it's 10 by 10 bundle of fabrics, I think it's called a layer cake. There's jelly rolls, layer cakes, and I don't even know what else. But they're not cheap. And this fabric was just so beautiful, and I'm very happy to have cut into it and started making things with it. So I just pieced some of it together. This was not part of that pack. This was a strip of fabric that I had. And I added some pretty beautiful trims and the Valentine cross-stitch piece. A little piece of velvet fabric that I shirred. And then on the inside again is antique papery. The book plate, I added a lace pocket. And this one, I just had this sitting on my desk, so I picked it up, and it's a corner of an old photo album frame, one of the 8 by 12 or 8 by 10 photo albums. It was to frame an 8 by 10 photo. And it's from the 80s, but I stamped on it, and I thought that'd be perfect to put in that corner. And then this one, I almost finished, but my sewing machine is giving me problems. I can't take it to the shop because I'm not out of quarantine yet. But I have another sewing machine that is repaired and is in my closet, so I can switch. I just don't have the energy to do that right now. So I stopped where I was for now. But I used this blue-gray printed fabric. This is vintage, and it's got the pretty rose bouquets on it, and I added another piece of that. Woven ribbon, this beautiful embroidered ribbon, this spangly piece on the side. I just layered a bunch of things, added a little trim to that. And I stitched, hand stitched that on with red embroidery floss and added a little applique. This is an embroidered cotton piece, and I put the woven trim at the top. So actually I guess this is done, because I glued instead of sewed to finish it up. So I have 3 covers ready to go. So I will use some digital paper and the wallpapers and vellums and things like that. I'll probably use some, if I have avocado dyed paper. Let me see what I have. Let's see what's in here. That looks more like peach. So I do have some pink copy paper. Try that out. So I'll probably take my pink copy paper and just coffee dye it. Since I don't have any avocado paper left. I don't make avocado dyed paper. I purchase it. But I think this one is orangey peach. Another thing that I did yesterday was I've been purchasing a few plain bottles. I've done this before, and I had 5 empty bottles. So I looked through all of my sprays, and it just seems like most of my sprays end up being darker than what I want. And I've made homemade sprays too. So I decided to make some sprays in the colors that I would want. So I went with some shabby chic colors. And I just used paint and water. So I took my bottles into the bathroom and didn't fill them all the way, but, you know, filled them part way up with water. And then I chose some paints that I already had in my supplies. These are all Apple Barrel. I think I must have gotten these all at Walmart. I did not realize that this one was outdoor indoor gloss. But this one is Bahama Blue. This one is Pale Daffodil, Lime Sherbet, Cameo Pink, and Apricot. And that's all the empty bottles that I had. So I tried each one out, and I think that they're going to be great. So I can squirt some of my papers with some of these. And you can, well, I told you I filled it up with water, partway with water, and then I just squirted a bunch of paint in there, put the cap on, and then shook. It does separate. You have to shake it every time you use it, which you do with, I think, almost all sprays that you use. But you can also, if you have some mica powders, this is a Finnabair one, and these are Perfect Pearls, Sour Apple, Pink Gumball, and this one is Brilliant Gold. So I could add, I did add one of these, I think I added it to the apricot. Not sure, either that or I think I added gold to that. Oh, I know I added blue because I shook it out of here. There's a shaker top. And I think I needed to add more because it doesn't show up much. So let's try out these sprays, shall we? Thought I might use this page. It's quite pretty and looks Valentine-y, I think. And I'm going to spray it with pink. So it adds some color, and it's not too dark. You could spray it through a stencil too if you wanted to. I wonder what yellow would look like with it. And if I decide I don't like these papers, sprayed papers with my Valentine stuff, then I'll just save that for another journal. Just want to try them out. I don't know if this would end up in a journal anyway. It looks Valentine-y. It just depends on what else I'm doing, if I want to use something that blue. I think one of my covers has blue, that bright blue gingham ribbon, so. This bottle was a set of 2, and it came from a craft store. Crafter's Square pump spray bottle. I don't know where I got it. Maybe at the dollar store. I don't know which dollar store. I went with my daughter. And these are from Walmart in the travel section, where you buy the travel size toiletries. They have empty bottles too. Look at that one. It's so pretty with the plaid. This is on a thin paper, printed on a thin paper, so you can see the design through it already. If I spray it, that design will really come through, but let's try it. Let's try it with the yellow. No, let's try the green. Just a little bit. So now I have some sprays that aren't so dark, aren't so overpowering, and I can buy some more bottles and make some more if I want to. So I hope you give that a try. Let me know if you do. And I think that's all I'm going to do right now. I just wanted to let you know I'm still around and what's coming up next in my shop, or on my channel. Where'd my covers go? Here they are. I think you would know that my favorite one would be this one because of the pink and turquoise. I wonder what one is your favorite one. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon. Have a creative day today. Bye-bye.